Sorry about that. Sorry. Let's see. I know we've been 2 minutes in, and that's because this is a channeled message. So there's just a little bit more stillness here, okay? But welcome. Thank you for stopping by here on YouTube Live. If you're watching it live on the original air date, which is August the 25th. I don't know why I thought today would be the 26th, but anyway, it's August the 25th, 2022, wherever you are on the globe. Okay, if you're logging in live, otherwise, just welcome. And this is just a channeled message. I feel guided to do a few channeled messages as guided today. So they'll be spaced out. We'll see what happens. Okay. So Divine Feminine is going to be channeling in. She's sending messages to her karmic family. Okay. She's going to address her karmic bloodline. Okay. And then Divine Feminine will come in later on a different video as I'm guided, and it will be Divine Feminine to Divine Masculine's karmics, okay? Addressing Divine Masculine's karmics. And we'll just see from the higher perspective what Divine Feminine has to say. Now, starting with her family, as you guys can see on the board, we have two karmic family. You need help, seriously, from Divine Feminine. And I honestly, you guys, though I joke around because, I'm a human being, I'm flesh and blood, I clown, I joke, like the next person. But this is not even derogatory. From the perspective of Divine Feminine, this is not derogatory. This is her and her divinity addressing the heart of the matter of her karmic family, the heart of the matter of why they are what they are. Okay? Why they are what they are, why they do what they do, why they are a part of what they're a part of, and why, even though they may cloak all of this energy to the world, or at least they try to, why they target her. And so she's addressing, letting them know at the core, like they try to project their craziness, their mental illness, their distorted energy onto her whole life, and to the world. And she is saying to them, because of all of that, on top of everything else insidious that they have done to her, okay, and her children, she is saying to them, listen, at the end of the day, in cutting out all of the fluff, you, meaning her family, you need help. Seriously. Divine Feminine is saying that she has loved her karmic family through different seasons. She was there, she's loved them through differences, disappointments, misunderstandings, that they have broken her heart time after time, long before she disconnected. That they were careless with her, insensitive, and heartless towards her and her children. These karmic families, Divine Feminine says every bit of help that they ever actually gave her was never actually help. And she is fully aware of that. This is why she is saying they need help. Divine Feminine is saying that as she has healed, awakened, and ascended, and continue to do so, she knows that she's unstoppable. And that essentially all the damage that she has suffered as a result of them will be transformed and alchemized in her favor. She's really addressing them in a way that hopefully she's hoping that they'll catch a clue before they take their last breath on this side of the journey. Karmics, karmic family, you're not well. This is from the higher realm of Divine Feminine's energy. She's addressing it. You're not well. You haven't been well. This bloodline was a part of some pretty dark shit long before you, even, karmic family. Long before you. Unfortunately, you stepped right into that same energy. Your subconscious is programmed to hate me because I came in the bloodline to clear the bloodline. This is why once I was born into the bloodline, there was immediate hate, starting with the mother and the father. You're not well. You have projected your pain, your trauma, your wounds onto me. And it's because you're not well. Sure, you've gotten education. Sure, you've managed to snake your way through life. But this has been the nature of your soul. You have been a karmic many times. And I have dealt with you in many lives. You are not well, your soul. You resist awakening every lifetime. You resist true healing and transformation that's offered to you by source light energy and the ancestors over and over again. I'm not bothered. Divine Feminine can't be bothered. The attempts to embarrass her, the attempts to shame her, the attempts to get people to look at her in a different light, she can care less. Because she knows that these individuals, the people who actually buy the shit, is equally blind as you. And that chances are you've put a spell on them to begin with. because you've been a black witch. You've been doing this. Your soul has been doing this. Lifetime after lifetime. And every time you take your last breath on this side, you try to petition to the ancestors and the top dogs in the afterlife to give you another chance. Once you are separate from the body, they give you your review. And you do this over and over again, promising to learn your lesson, promising to get it right, promising to not do spells anymore, promising to not interfere, promising to not attempt to kill divine feminines and masculines and their children. Your soul is depraved. You can go to church all you want and put on a show for them. They can't help you. Chances are, if they're a part of anything to do with what you're a part of, they're going down with you. You can lie and hide and deny until you die, but you're not well, and you're going to have to deal with everything you've done. Projecting your mental illness and your dark rituals and practices is going to cost you greatly. This is something that you're going to pay for excruciatingly, more than your divination is going to provide you the clarity on. Anytime you are willing to hurt your family because you can't control them, this is an indication to you that you're not well. Anytime that you are willing to backstab your family because they no longer wish to speak with you is an indication that you're not well. Anytime you are willing to do death wishes and rituals on your own family and attempts to set them up, to steal from them, to try to steal their identity, this is an indication this should have been the reveal to any part of you that was left human, that you were not well. Anytime you are willing to sit back and watch and hurt an innocent life because of what's going on inside of you, should have been your own highlight to yourself that obviously you're not well. This also should have been an indication to those that were around you all. If you would hurt a divine feminine's child, this should tell you something about you. And any time that you can do that and then pretend like you are helpful and supporting and that you care, should have really shown you how far gone you were. It should have shown the people that were willing to collaborate with you, that knew about the things that you all do, that you all were not well, no matter how much you performed and mimicked me. The gavel has been dropped on this bloodline. Every individual in this bloodline that is a part of your fuckery and that refuses their own healing and ascension will suffer your fate. For some, it's going to be more rapid than they think. For others, it'll be a long and slow unraveling of life. And it's because of you. People that enabled you, karmic mothers and karmic siblings and karmic fathers. People that were the enablers and the tongue biters and made excuses for you are going to suffer long after you guys are gone. Their only way out is going to be through actual true transformation for some of them. To the karmic mothers and the karmic fathers, you especially are under severe judgment. For hiding behind a religion while doing heinous shit to divine feminine. You're a depraved soul. If a mother can sit and do a death wish on her child, she is beyond mentally ill. She is a wretched, depraved soul. If a mother can turn a blind eye to the knowledge of that being done and acting like she knew nothing of it, is beyond mentally ill. She is a wretched, depraved soul. You all needed help a long time ago. And not religion. Religion is the only thing that this bloodline have down packed. Religion. But this bloodline has never dealt with healing. That's why it's in this condition that it's in. The only thing you all know how to do is go to church and quote things and put on the show for people to think you're a decent human. But treacherous, heartless, gutless, spineless. You need help. Anybody that will gang stalk or gang up on their family member is more than mental illness. It's depravity. You're a depraved soul. Your attempt to be divine feminine, your attempt to switch destinies should have shown you right there that something was sorely wrong with you at the core. The practitioners that you all have worked with are going to suffer your same fate. Because any practitioners that are willing to participate in those types of rituals are equally depraved souls. Heartless. And Divine Feminine sees through all of it. And Divine Feminine is here to whistleblow on every last one of you. And Divine Feminine is taking down every last one of you. Divine Feminine wouldn't have wished the fate of what's going to play out for some of you on anybody. But the thing is, you all wished it on her. And you went beyond wishing it. You try to orchestrate it, and she's aware of this. So this is why she will not blink when you guys receive your fate. To the people that you all have managed to get in your web, your spells, your trauma bonding, this hopefully will serve to free them if they ever watch this. Because you all will self-destruct. Divine Feminine is aware that your soul is depraved to such a degree that you're going to have to self-destruct. She knows what your fate is. She is providing this information for what's around, if you will, the queen bee. That maybe for themselves, in the name of their own lives and their own children and their own grandchildren, or whatever it is that they hold near and dear, that they will free themselves from you before they suffer because of you. Because anybody that continues to partner up with the queen bees, the secret society, the ones that are at the root of doing spell work and rituals and theft and fraud and gang stalking and attempted murder on Divine Feminine and her children, they will self-destruct. It's too late. It's too late for them. But to the other lives, if they are able to open their eyes and see this as an absolute, they may be able to save themselves. But not you. People who continue to work with you all will suffer your same fate. Divine Feminine is aware of that as well. So she has attempted in her own unique creative ways to provide information to those who would have eyes to see and ears to hear the truth about you. Divine Feminine, she's not a Divine Feminine because she put it on a label. She's Divine Feminine because her soul came as Divine Feminine. She's not Divine Feminine because it's trending and she put it in a profile social media name. She's Divine Feminine because that's her soul and that is her life and that is her essence and that is her actual reality. Divine Feminines are not a part of secret societies. Divine Feminines do not partake in spell work, black magic, and rituals against people's lives. Divine Feminine does not turn a blind eye to the knowledge of those types of things. True Divine Feminines are not cowards. Divine Feminines do not gang stalk. Divine Feminines is not a follower. They're not followers. They don't get in groups and gang up on people. So this is why she's Divine Feminine. It ain't have nothing to do with putting it in a title somewhere. She is. Some of you are getting some karma for trying to impersonate Divine Feminine energy when you are essentially not Divine Feminine. Because you are not Divine Feminine if you're doing fucked up shit. You're not Divine Feminine if you're trying to cover up the fucked up shit. You're not. And you will never be. Divine feminines do not try to impersonate other individuals. Divine feminine certainly is not trying to impersonate even other divine feminines. Divine feminine is not trying to take the life and destiny of no one. She's not a fraud. She's learned her life lessons. Divine feminines do not hide behind religion to justify their behavior against someone that they're secretly jealous of and that they secretly hate. Divine feminines do not feel like they need to compare themselves to another. They're not constantly watching and watching others to try to compare themselves to make themselves feel better. Why? Because divine feminines know that they're individuals and that they cannot be replicated, and that there's beauty in diversity, in the differences. She doesn't feel the slightest bit threatened by another person's greatness. You all have hated on divine feminine's beauty and the fact that people looked up to her and looked at her in awe, and you targeted her appearance and her health. So yours will decline rapidly. This is why the divine feminine's mothers, karmic mothers and fathers that were a part of that health declined rapidly in this life, because they were partaking in death rituals, poisoning, and doing all sorts of shit to their very own. And if they're still alive, they will continue to decline. These karmic mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews and cousins and grandparents, extended family. Anybody who partook in this stuff secretly will suffer. Especially those who took up for you all. Those who lied for you all, those who hid you, those who made excuses for you, they're going to actually suffer your same fate. Those who kept financing you, the people that you guys have put in traps and spells to give things to you, they're going to lose everything. They're going to start losing everything because of you. Series of unfortunate events is going to start happening to these people until they walk away from you all and leave you alone. They'll either start taking ill, there'll be one catastrophe after the next, there'll be chaos and conflict, they won't be able to go to work, their credit won't work anymore. It's going to be one thing and another until they learn to actually cut you all off, until they learn to turn you all in and speak the truth about you. But those who don't, their loyalties are going to cost them, and they're going to actually suffer. Not that you all care, because this is the issue with you to begin with. You're karmic in nature. You don't even care. You all don't even care about what's going to happen to your own children and your own grandchildren, the ones that you actually like. You don't even care that you're destroying their lives. You don't even care about the webs you've gotten them involved in due to your mental problems and your depravity and your unhealthy need to compete and compare to divine feminine. Some of these churches are not going to know what's coming, and they're not going to understand it. They're not going to see it, and they're going to think they're doing some kind of warfare, but the shit is still going to be crazy. Because they're going to suffer because of you too. Not that you care, but this is indicative to you that you need help. You tried to go and talk about behavioral health and mental health. That was the last thing some of y'all should have been doing. The last thing. Because you're a depraved soul. While going on these podcasts and in these groups or whatever it is you all do and talk about these things, you yourself are still a part of treacherous acts. This should be revealing to you how depraved you are. But the fact that you can't see that is just another confirmation that you're depraved. I feel sorry for your children. I feel sorry. Divine Feminine feels sorry for her karmic family's children, her nieces, her great nieces and nephews. She feels sorry for them because some of them are becoming you. So they're going to end up receiving a fate similar to yours. But others, it's just the way it happens when people in bloodlines don't step up and heal. The drama, the trauma, the abuse, the toxicity goes on and on and on. This bloodline is a bloodline filled with dark witches and warlocks and narcissists. And have worked incessantly time after time to try to keep this hidden from the world. But it will not be hidden. This shall be totally exposed in this lifetime and on timelines, all timelines. The individuals that have wronged Divine Feminine in these bloodlines will pay for that. Those who don't make proper amends with Divine Feminine in this lifetime, they're going to pay as well. There will be no escape for nobody, not this time. The only way people are going to get through these toxicities is to yield and surrender to higher energies, transform, and do the right thing. But running to church, calling the prayer line, running to one Reiki center after the next, it's not going to help. It's not going to change anything. You can't Reiki your soul away. You can't Reiki that away. You have to journey. You can't run from the negativities that you've created and been a part of. You have to face it eye to eye. It'll follow you, eventually catching up. Karmic family, the queen bees, you've gotten away with this for years, a long time. And so this is why what's coming is going to be pretty damn big. It's going to be an accumulation of what you deserve. It's going to be accumulation of what you invested in on Divine Feminine and her children and her life. And there's not going to be a society or a spell that you can do to stop this. You will not be able to manipulate and petition your way out. You will suffer. Many of you don't have much time left here on earth in this journey. You all were given guidance to make an amends with Divine Feminines in your pride and your ego and your need to win at all costs and your need to look like you're right, because you're not, is going to cost you everything. Some of you actually rather die, and this should reveal to the world people who have tried to get you to do the right thing and they see that you refuse it. This should show them how depraved you are. You all did not have any respect for divine feminine, so this is why there's going to be decline in your life. Every last one of you were disrespectful. You took her as a joke. You used her as a scapegoat. You projected your toxicities. You used and harvested her energy, her son's energy. So this is why there's going to be decline for you rapidly. You all erroneously thought you were better than divine feminine. So you're going to learn a lesson. Divine feminine was actually here in this bloodline to help you. You were to honor her and to receive the enlightenments and the healings that was available to this bloodline for anybody who would have taken it. You guys were to be of a support as she went through her journey and process. Instead, you guys took advantage of her pain, of her trauma, and of the dark nights of the soul. You took advantage of it and you participated in creating it. And for that, every last one of you will pay the piper. You tried to ruin her reputation by hiding your torrid life and secrets and addictions and past. And for that, all of your dark secrets will be revealed to the world. To Divine Feminine's karmic family, you need help. Seriously. Beyond the therapist, beyond a church service and prayer meeting, you need help. Beyond a Reiki session, you need help. Most of you, this is too late. Gallows have been dropped. Because even as Divine Feminine speaks, you all are still up to it. You all pop in and out of here as this video is going on. You pop in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Still up to fuckery. Still reporting. Still doing the same shit. Still haven't learned shit. So every last one of you are going to eat that shit. Every last one of you, especially the karmic parents and siblings. And then your secret societies. If you all would have woken up and healed and ascended through the troubling times that we have all gone through and went the route of benevolence and morality, you could have learned in a higher vibrational sense whatever your soul's lesson was to learn. But as is classic and atypical of true karmic energies, you never get it. You just do this same shit over and over, lifetime after lifetime. And then your mind and your body gets plagued with lower vibrations and frequencies and addictions and bad habits and consequences to the shit that you have touched. And then you die, and then you still try to beckon to come back, to come back. But this time, you guys are done, and you guys are going to have some surprises waiting for you, the afterlife. This time, this is it. You're done. The people in your wake that you have left behind you, they'll suffer your fate unless they change. It's going to be the same story over and over again. But to the bloodline individuals that receives from Divine Feminine and do what they have to do on their own particular journeys to awaken and heal, they may bypass the fates that you all are inevitably going to receive. You all use Divine Masculines in some cases against Divine Feminine. This should have been another indication to most that you were a sick soul. Cloaking, switching, doing spells with a Divine Masculine in their shadow, hexes, all this shit that people thought was cute. All of these individuals are equally depraved as you. But this should have been an indication to the onlookers that, you know, it's fun to get a benefit, but it sure ain't fun to have to pay the piper. It ain't fun to watch our kids be plagued. It ain't fun to start having our relationships and partnerships be hit. It ain't fun to watch our businesses take decline. It ain't fun. It becomes no longer fun. It becomes no longer worth it when chaos and conflict make a circle back around to all these individuals. When sickness and disease make a circle back around to all these individuals. It's no longer fun. It's no longer worth it. It's no longer exciting. It's no longer thrilling. But see, that's because of you. These other individuals' lessons was to learn the lesson about being fucked up in the name of this 3D shit and what it's going to cost you. Some of these people's lessons was learning the lessons of interfering in people's lives in snaky, slick, cowardly ass ways. Whether this was clergy, spiritualist, or other members of the family, they're going to learn that lesson. Most of you all were jealous of Divine Feminine. Most of these people in the church were jealous of Divine Feminine. They're jealous. There it is, throat chakra. They're jealous of her voice. They're jealous of her gift. And they always were. They're jealous of her appearance. They always were. Just like you. But in order for you all to not feel like the crummy, soulless individuals you are, you hide behind religion. So you can feel spiritual. This is not going to help you. You're still going to reap. And Divine and Feminine is saying to all these motherfuckers that's connected to her karmic family, you need help. Seriously. From the true, authentic, raw, rare, and real Divine Feminine.